What's up, guys? This is Marcia here with another episode of the Lady Strong Fitcast. Today, I have Lady Strong Fitness member Candace. Candace and I, we're going to be talking about how to make time for fitness. Candace, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good. So, Candace, I know who you are, but for the ladies that are tuning in that may not know you, tell a little bit about yourself.
So the big question is this: how were two women who didn't cheat and purchase a gym franchise model, how were they able to spread their mission and purpose by empowering and transforming hundreds of women's lives through fitness, nutrition, mindset, and accountability with a micro gym business model of women only? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. We are Lady Strong Fitness.
I am a mother of one. I have a daughter who's 11. I just turned 40 in July. I'm already starting to feel a little bit of that. But other than that, I just newly moved to the area, which brought me to the gym and the trial. And I'm a working mother. So that requires a lot between trying to fit me in and the girl in and get day-to-day stuff done. So
100%.
that's me in a nutshell.
I
Yeah.
love it. Thank you for that. So let's talk about you moving to the area. So whereabouts did you reside prior to Schaumburg?
I lived in Park Forest, Illinois,
Oh, it's Park
prior to
Forest.
moving.
Okay.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's about an hour and maybe 30 minutes roughly from here.
Okay. What was it about Lady Strong that you're like, I love it, I'm in, let's get going? What was it that prompted you to want to join the community?
Well, I think after doing CrossFit for the last year and a half, I knew I wanted to continue with a lot of the HIIT intensity and the core training with the weights and the strengths. So I saw a couple videos and it came down my Facebook page when I was Googling some other stuff in the area just to kind of see what was around here. And I saw the trial for the 7 days and I'm like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? Is that you got a good workout or you didn't?
Yeah.
So I came into the gym and I liked how you guys had your names on the desk. I felt very, I felt like I had, a VIP appointment. They greeted me when I came in. They helped me, figure out where my spot was going to be, get me all set up. And I just felt very cared for coming into a new gym, which people can be nervous.
Yeah.
And that just that sold me. And then the next couple workouts I got really tore me up. So I knew like this was something that I can hang with and feel good about it and the variety.
I love it. So I'm sure people that are watching this, if they are catching the video version, just looking at you, I mean, come on, let's talk about your physique for a minute. So coming in, like we knew you had some sort of background prior to Lady Strong. And I'll be honest with you, just based on even what I know of you, I felt as though like you coming in, it was like you have been a part of the community for forever. And I want to talk about that because when you joined, you ended up getting involved in our 30-day Shed to Shred challenge. You ended up getting really phenomenal results. You ended up meeting a bunch of new women. So let's talk about that. The 30-day Shed to Shred. How was your results in the 30 days of doing that?
Very good. Very good for me because I know where I lack consistency, even though I tend to try to ignore it from time to time because I have a food crave and crush on food. But doing that challenge, I lost roughly about 10 pounds or almost close to 10 pounds, but I maintained my muscle. I lost body fat. And it was in such a short period of time. And I'll be honest, like I still had a cheat meal, not day.
Right.
And it was still moving in the right direction once we kind of got my macros together, because that took a little bit. And then just with all women, we have inflammation, we bloat, and I didn't know where my triggers were for that. So changing my food and how I season my food helped to contribute. And oddly enough, we took our scale weights, and Emily was just asking me, like, do you retain water? Do you feel bloated? Do you feel? And she was like, "Cause your feet look swollen on the scale," and I was like, "Oh gosh," so once we had that discussion, I was back on track. So that's when I was like, "Oh my God, like this is what I needed," because I've struggled from that consistency part. So just getting on the challenge, doing that. Scale wise, my scale is still the same. So I've been maintaining since the challenge, but I've also kept up with the supplements that was offered during the challenge as well.
That's awesome. That's so good to hear. And let's be honest with you, accountability is crucial to your success. So having that accountability in that 30 days. And I also want to make sure that our videographer shares your before and after photo here as well, because seeing your transformation in those 30 days is huge. I mean, it was crazy. You look damn good. So yeah, that's inspiring by itself. So congratulations. I'm so happy to hear that you're able to maintain that, because that was this past summer. And now, it's been a good 4 or 5 months since then. So to hear that you've maintained is awesome.
Yeah. And I know I want to go further, but I'm like, I want to do it without a challenge. I want to figure out, like, I've been doing this for so long, and I know it's the inconsistency. So I think just having that accountability and being able to ask questions to the coaches to kind of keep me astray, and then just having the membership and being able to do the in-body scans. That kind of sold me as well. So I don't know, if that has ever, entertained anyone else, but part of that coming with the package of the membership was just, beautiful.
The way I like to put it, you don't know what you don't know, right? Unless you're able to collect that data to see what's actually going on inside your body. And if what you're doing is paying off, and essentially, are you heading down the right trajectory? So I'm glad that you're taking advantage of that. So ladies, if you're taking some mental notes, make sure to get those in-body scans. So with that being said, Candace, I do want to talk about what this actual episode is entitled, is being able to make time for yourself when it comes to your fitness and wellness journey. And when I say time for yourself, I'm actually targeting a specific demographic. You and I, like I told you prior to this episode airing, we had a conversation about there isn't that many minorities inside our community. And I think back to the quarantine days in 2020, and a lot of the people, especially within the Midwest, that were suffering from this virus were African Americans. And it was really, really sad. It was almost depressing in a way. And I'm blessed that you and I were not a part of that statistic. And I think a lot of that has to do with how we take care of ourselves. So my question for you is, why do you think that there isn't more of us that is working out? And there isn't any right or wrong answer by any means.
I can only go by my group of friends, my cluster of friends, because I know a lot of people figure if you have a friend who's like really into the gym, I should be able to bring and influence my friends to attend. And I might get them to do like a once event type of a thing, or a walk or a run or something like that. But that commitment to going to the gym or getting up or doing it despite being tired is something that I think we take for granted. Right now, I think what you see on TV has really influenced people from doing the hard work and, trying to adjust according to, what you see. And we all know you cannot lose weight in specific areas.
100%.
So in order to get where that is, it's like taking the easier route is, more common now than doing the work and maintaining the consistency. And we know a lot of that is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So sometimes when it comes to food and comfort foods, that I have to say it's hard for me.
Yeah.
Still, but the working out aspect just kind of drew me in a little bit more. And I enjoy it, and I feel guilty when I don't do it. So if you don't really have that transition happen, it's kind of hard to get up and do it every day.
I would 100% agree with you. And to add to what you said too, I think a lot of it too has to do with the lack of education. Because like you said, people want the easy route. And we all know this journey is not easy. And if it were, we'd have thousands of women working at Lady Strong Fitness. So I think you are a testament to what it should look like. And, to be honest with you, I don't even know if you would consider yourself an inspiration, but you are inside the community. It's so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's endearing to see how well you are, you fit in with the community. I see you guys take the little selfies after class, and, you guys are pushing each other during class to lift heavier, if it's with Isa or with Leah Davos or whoever it is. So it's like, it's almost like a sisterhood that you guys have, which I love,
Yeah. And I'm so reserved, and I really didn't say, so it's been nice to work alongside of folks who and really enjoy the workout, not just, there or grit and bear, but willing to push themselves. So I can say that transition for that really community dynamic changed for me maybe about a month or two ago. I stayed and stuck with certain classes, and I think that too allowed that relationship to change, because I was in so many different classes trying to figure out like what worked. I never really worked out with the same people each class, and I noticed like that was kind of a thing. We have the 725 group, you have the 625 group, and I kind of rotated between those groups, and I'm like, okay, now I don't know how to fit in, because I'm going through both groups, but committing to the 5 a.m. because it worked well at home. I'm like, okay, now I got, a certain group where I see, often. And Issa is something else. And so, just to see her push, her drive. I look forward to.
Shout out to Isa. It's nice to have someone that has the same mentality as yourself, and it wants you to even work harder, which is what I love about that. So my question for you is, and I really don't know, I want to ask you, have you always been into fitness, or is this something that came about maybe, a couple years ago?
Oh, no, I can say strong, maybe 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Of the on and off, and just making everything a workout.
That's awesome.
I just laughed about it earlier today, because if a friend would ask me to help them move, well, I would lather up in Vicks Vapor Rub. I would wrap my belly. I would put on like garbage bags and stuff, and it's like, let's go, So I got my gym shoes on, and she teases me about it, and this was almost, 15 years or more ago that I helped her move. But that just became who I was. If I had an opportunity to do some sort of workout, and it didn't matter, if I could, I would. I've tried personal trainers. I've tried the keto. I've tried just odds and end challenges. But maybe I committed to YouTube. And this was before the pandemic, oddly enough. And when I got to the pandemic, I had a hard time committing back to YouTube. But I think trying to learn how to push myself, to motivate myself, I did it for myself and by myself. And that's kind of where the love for it truly developed. It wasn't a personal trainer. It wasn't going to, Lifetime Fitness. I wasn't finding it there. And it to me, it was like a waste of money, because I wouldn't really commit. I only did it for a trip or for a wedding or for something. But then once that something was over with, see ya. I'm more into, let's find a new recipe or a new restaurant to eat.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because a lot of women do have that mentality. They want that quick fix for that wedding or for that vacation. And I'm glad that you said it was about 12 years, because I'm sure people look at you like, man, how do I get a body like Candace? And it took commitment and time and years. I'm glad that you didn't say, oh, I just started, like a couple years ago. Like, if so, you know what I mean? Everybody's like, man, I can get in shape just like Candace did. Like, so ladies, if you're watching, Candace did not get this body overnight. It took years of commitment and in experimenting. Like you said, you tried so many different things until you found something that worked for you. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. I do want to end things on this note here. Do you have any advice for anybody that's listening in today, for if you're an existing member or maybe someone who's on the fence about joining Lady Strong?
If you're someone on the fence, I guess let me start there, because I'm kind of like, what gym? What do you have to offer me? I think this gym has a lot to offer anyone who's starting out or anyone who's, got a lot of experience under their belt. So that variety in itself, the surprise workouts, like as much as you get is it's cardio, it's strength, or, it's body weight. That's it. That's all you get. So it keeps you guessing and it keeps your body guessing, which I think has really helped, try to transition. And then the support that you guys offer. Like I said, with doing these challenges or introducing me even to the supplement company, I've always kind of been like a GNC, yearly member or whatever, but I was experimenting with what worked for me. So even having now that outlet, I feel like you guys will help me not give up.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So somebody who's currently in the gym, just stick with it. Keep coming. Them 4 to 5 days really matters. And if you weren't prior, into supplements or things like that, when it's all natural and it's for a reason, I think you'll really, like it, and you might need it. I mean, I know the natural thing is a thing, but you sometimes need a pickup, and to have that as part of this membership, it's a benefit.
Yeah, I like that. That's good advice. Thank you for sharing that. So, Candace, it was a pleasure having you on this evening. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule. Ladies, thank you for tuning in of another episode of the Lady Strong Fitcast. Have a blessed day, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or whatever your favorite place is to listen to podcasts. And if you really liked this episode, please leave a review for us on iTunes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.